afternoon. We're about to begin Luis Enrique's press conference.
Bona tarda, Luis. President de Barça TV. Volia preguntar com s'afronta el partit de l'Elx, sobretot venint...
Asking about tomorrow's game with Elche on the back of such an impressive win against Atletico Madrid, and how to keep the players with their morale so high. Well, we're going into the game in the same way. After games with so much tension against such an attractive opponent, the second leg of the Cup, after such a great first leg, does seem to condition our situation, but we're going into the game in the same way as we would with any other game, trying to work out what things we can do to damage the opposition and go out and get the victory. That's our objective in the Copa del Rey. Probably the best game of the season against Atletico. So is the challenge now to put together a series of games playing at that kind of high level?
No, yo no creo que el equipo, hombre, el reto es, creo que a lo largo de la temporada hemos estado bastante jornadas.
I think the challenge has been met because I think we went, what, did we go 8 games, 9 games without losing a game? That's the challenge, to keep winning and winning and winning. And points.
Siempre nos hemos referido que necesitamos o que creemos y entendemos que el buen juego nos acerca más a la.
We've always said that if we play well, then we're more likely to win. But it's nice to play attractive football, and I think if we do that, then we've got a better chance of getting a good result. We've got one more game this weekend before we move into the second half of the season, and of course the idea is to go there and win. Okay, Elche aren't quite beaten yet, but it does look like you'll be in the quarterfinals against a Champions League opponent. And asking about rotating the team tomorrow. Well, I can't guarantee anything.
Hola Luis, Germán García, Radio Nacional. Hemos visto que, bueno, se nos ha dicho que hoy han estado entrenando 6 del filial.
There are 6 players from the reserves training today. That's quite a large number of reserves to be training, no? Yep, there were reserve players training with us. We're going to exploit the circumstances to get a chance to have a look at some of them playing. Not all of them, because we know that the laws, the rules say that only 4 beating players can start the game. And neither do we want to take too many risks. But I'm sure that some of those players are going to get the chance to take part tomorrow. Does he think Messi will win his 5th Ballon d'Or wearing the Barça shirt? Who knows what's going to happen in the future?
Aquí Luis, Sport. Vaquero es uno de los, según las últimas noticias, uno de los candidatos a la dirección deportiva. Como usted no va
José María Vaquero, he's been mentioned in the press as a possible future director of sport. Vaquero or any of my former colleagues. We played together for Barça, we played together for Spain. But I think that's a question that you should ask the president, and they can give you a better appraisal of the potential people that could take over in that position. I have a very high opinion of José María Vaquero and all of my other former colleagues, but I don't think I've got anything else to say on the matter. Bartomeu said in an interview that he hasn't seen the squad so united for a long time. Was he right? Well, if that's what the president said, who's going to argue? I think we've managed to steer clear of controversies and rumours. We know what makes us stronger and try to generate the best climate we can. That's what we try to do within the squad. But of course, things can change in 5 seconds. Looking at the Copa del Rey bracket and how they're going to play Atletico or Real Madrid if they qualify against Elche, and generally asking about how that would pan out for the tournament as a whole. I think it's nice that perhaps the 3 strongest teams are in the same part of the bracket. That means other teams have got a better chance of going far in the Cup. They've got a chance even of getting to the final. I'm not sure that it means there's an advantage or a disadvantage. But that's perhaps why I like to have a big squad, because I know that we're going to need players for the whole season, and these difficult games are going to come up. And it's useful to have players that are ready to serve the manager. I think that's one of the advantages of this particular club. Let's see whether my thoughts are proved correct at the end of the season, because that will obviously be reflected in results. But we've been trying to get a lot of different players getting involved in the team in the 3 different competitions, and I think that gives me more options for the future. Asking about the Ballon d'Or gala, there have been comments about Leo Messi's face when Luis Enrique's video was played. Was he bothered at all by that? That he seemed to put on such a serious face, as opposed to when Aymar spoke, when he looked so happy. I didn't watch the gala. I didn't have that fortune.
Sí, Luis, Josep Soldado de La Sexta. Aquí le preguntaban esta mañana a Ancelotti sobre Cristiano Ronaldo, si algún día
Ancelotti was asked about Cristiano Ronaldo and his future. And apparently Ancelotti gave a fairly sound answer. So can you give us a sound answer regarding Leo Messi's future? And basically Luis Enrique is not answering that question. Let's not start winding up this affair yet again. Let's not start stoking the fire of polemic, of controversy. Looking at Luis Suarez and his performance the other day, does he seem to have reached his peak? You mean fitness-wise or football-wise? Fitness-wise, he's always been spectacular. Even when there were stories going around that he was a bit fat, but no, he was never fat. He's always been extremely fit. In a football sense, it's his first season at the club, and he was suspended for several months. And so I think we signed a very interesting player who, as the games going by, he's proving himself in the team. We saw that when he was training before, and now he's getting to play games. That's when we really get to see what he's like. And I think he's continuing to improve, and I think he will continue to improve. And I think he's got a lot to offer the team.
Hola, buenos días, Joan Puqui de Mundo Deportivo. Me gustaría preguntarle por Neymar después de la escalofriante.
Asking about Neymar and that fairly horrendous tackle on him the other day, whether he's going to be okay. In principle, yes, he's recovering well. It was a horrible tackle, very nasty tackle, but that happens in football. Sometimes it's hard to measure with the strength that you go in for a tackle sometimes, but luckily it was nothing too serious, and I think he'll shortly be able to play again. Asking about Xavi, he's been training separately for the last few days, so any update? He won't play tomorrow. It's not a very big injury, so I think he'll be back playing very shortly.
Hola, buenos días. Andrés Corpas del diario El Mundo. ¿En qué aspectos ve unidad en su equipo? Muchas gracias.
Asking why the team is so united.
En todos los aspectos en los que
In every aspect, I suppose. I don't know. There's 11 players. There are those that are sitting on the bench, those that aren't even in the squad. But we talk about different things, everything about how we can play against other teams, what we can do to make ourselves stronger. I mean, the dynamic we've got is that you would have in any football team. I don't really know what happens at other football clubs, but here I'm quite happy. You say you don't read the sports press. But there are rumours saying that the players are not happy with the psychologist and that apparently doesn't know much about football.
Venga, siguiente pregunta, va.
Carl, next question.
Desde fuera da la sensación de que Bartomeu está interviniendo en cuestiones de vestuario, como por ejemplo.
Seems that Bartomeu is getting involved in squad issues, speaking about Messi and things. Coaches don't usually like presidents to get involved. So how are you coping with this situation, and have you spoken to him about it? I think the president's attitude has been the same ever since I came to the club. After the games, he comes down to speak to the players, to speak to me. He's always been the same. Now, if somebody wants to invent a story and put it in the press to try and turn things around, well, go for it. Invent what you want. And then you can go analyze and reanalyze these stories you've invented. But I think you know I don't speak about these things, so go on. Another question. Looking at the upcoming fixtures and whether they could be determinant for the rest of the season. What do you mean? The next games, the 2 or 3, the next 16 games, the next 17 games, the games this month? Okay, this month. Well, if we get past Elche, which we would hope we will do, we'll be playing against one of our biggest rivals. And then we've got the league games with Deportivo, with Elche, and then the third league game, is that in January or February? I think it's Bilbao, I think. But yeah, we've got, what, 3 league games, so we've got a chance of qualifying against one of the teams from Madrid, whichever we play. And so I think I've said regarding the league, other teams are going to drop points. There are the 3 main teams, in theory anyway. We're all going to drop points. And it's very unlikely that one of these teams is going to win every game left. We have to make the most of any points that they drop. And then we've got the Cup and the Champions League. We're into the knockout phase now, so in the Champions League we'll be playing teams that are as strong as we are. So let's see how things pan out in those games. First of all, we need to prove that we deserve to qualify in those games, and then we have to go out and do it. The league, it's going to be tight. Perhaps it won't go down to the very last game like last year, but let's see. Let's wait and see. Real Madrid are top at the moment, but if they continue picking up points as they are doing, well, it could be a different story, but I don't think that's the way it's going to be.
Comentaven Messi i Cristiano Ronaldo després de la gala de la Pilota d'Or que ells no viuen obsessionats amb aquest premi.
Messi and Ronaldo, they said that they're not obsessed with the award. Do you think that's true, that Messi's not really that bothered about winning the Ballon d'Or? Why don't you believe what the players say? If the players said that, then you should believe him, shouldn't you? If Messi were to leave next summer, does he think that his team would still be able to win all of the titles? That's a question for He's got in the 6th series. We've had the 5th. We're now into the 6th season. Let's wait and see. I mean, at the moment, I'm just thinking about how far we can get this season. That's what all Barca fans want. But I think the Messi situation, everyone's given their opinion, and even the protagonists have said what they need to say. It's Messi leaving the club is not really something we're even concerned about or thinking about. Can you give one word to describe the mood at the club at the moment? No, is the answer, basically. I can't think of a word. 14th of January. And whether things have changed since the Court of Arbitration made its verdict. I'm concentrating on my full squad. I can't play them all the time because only 11 can play at one time. Okay, that's the end of the press conference. The